Terminator, and welcome back to another episode of Ark Survival Evolved. Today we've got a very special episode about what you didn't know about your aberrant dinos. And what I mean by that is I've already got some prepared, and you probably already heard them in the background. This one I heard a lot of stories about. Some facts are true, some facts are not. We're going to find out all those facts right now that I can tell you at least. We're going to look into just more than this one. We're going to look into several of them since I've got the opportunity. And we're going to figure out if there's really a difference between them all, or is it just this one. So, right here you can see we've got 3 megas. And they are all considering it nighttime. Although, I think this mega was asleep when I first tamed it, versus these guys, they spawned in awake. So, I will set the time of day at some point to adjust that, but first off, let's look at something. Obviously, the megas are prettier in aberrant form. That makes perfect sense. Everything else about them looks the same, but let's look deeper into the stats. Look at this. 1,025 health. These are level 1, so these run on base stats. Now let's move over to your aberrant mega. That's your aberrant mega. 984.1 bits of health. It has less health than the standard mega. Now, that was the only thing I noticed about them. The only other thing is that they don't mate boost each other. I believe, yeah, this is a male, this is a male, this is a female. Your aberrant mega could never breed with your regular mega. So getting maybe the stat from this one is just not possible. Basically, it's like breeding wyverns. Even though wyverns can't breed, but your wyverns would have to be the same type. You can't put a fire and lightning together. Same concept here. So, unfortunately, that's all I know about these guys. There's not much else to tell you. They all are about the same otherwise. I mean, we could... Well, let's actually test out the base melee. There is a trike up there. I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to attack it. Tell you what, and we're just going to go ahead and run instead of fighting with it any longer. I'm going to do this, ditch that, grab an aberrant mega. Now, did you see that? 94 damage from the mega and 100 damage from this guy. So while this guy has a lower based health, this one right here I'm on, he has a higher melee. Kind of interesting, right? Let's look into a few others. Why not, right? Alright guys, so we have 2 dire bears. One aberrant, which, my god, it looks freaking awesome. And then a regular dire bear, as you can see right there. Don't they just look adorable? Like you can just cuddle up with them and roll around with them and then get torn up by their claws. Alright, so let's look at their stats. Maybe if we can. And I think this guy has been... I think, honestly, the dire bear itself has been hit with a massive debuff. But we're going to find out. Totals out 384.1 health. Melee of 125.8. And the weight stat is 650 on the aberrant variant. On the regular one, 400 health, 650 weight, 125 melee. But let's test out that melee, right? Now, we've already seen that the melee has been not matching the percentage. Still same percentage, but different default base value. So let's find us something to hit. So we did 62 damage to the back of this dire bear. To a glow bud. Now, that thing wasn't mate boosted or anything like that, so we should just be able to swap out now and see what kind of melee we're getting from an aberrant dire bear. So it did 4 points more damage. Now we could have used the right click swing, and we'll do that on this scorpion because he feels 86 damage. What am I gonna do for the turtle? Because I'm just gonna hit a ball. Yeah. 86 damage on both of them. Let's just try the right swing again, and then we will go ahead and move on to the next one, because I think we've already kind of seen what is different about these dinos. $81. I think I did 86 before is what I said. And so now I've done 81. So 5 points less damage with the right click. I'm starting to see a trend here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to see a trend. But to make sure we're 100% positive this is a trend along multiple lines, if not all aberrant lines, which I don't know why they took a little extra effort to do this instead of just changing their color and leaving it. But hey, they did something different with it, right? But we're gonna go ahead and spawn in several Spinos and see if there's a difference between them. So guys, I want to point out something else right here. The Mega right here is sleeping. If we wake it up, it still works fine. Oh no, there it is. It just didn't pop up right away. This is what I wanted to show you because I did notice this in actually somebody else's video. And yeah, they sleep. Despite the fact the aberrant one never sleeps. So that can be an issue, and makes me question a few things about a video I watched, because I kind of see some unfairness in what happened because of what they did. But that's none of my business right now. I mean, not my server, I don't do that kind of stuff, but just one of those things that I saw and it always made me question. Alright, and let's see the health difference on these guys. 672.1. 700. We could test the base melee. You know what? I have a Titan boa spawn, so. Alright, so 62 with this one. Alright, and let's hop off. And there's another Titan boa. 66. So pretty much the exact same trend, about 4 extra melee points base on every single dino. I feel like that's a little weird. You would think you would just leave it the same, but apparently not. And I mean, everything else from right is the same on him. If I go and check the weight, 350. Weight 350. Food, oxygen. Food, oxygen, and I didn't look at stamina. Yeah, all the same. So everything is the same except for their base melee and their health. And what's weird is it's such a small, minute number. Now, to note on that, you might think, well, it's such a small number, why does that matter? Well, this is the thing. This guy will always be a better tank than this guy. This guy is more of a dedicated melee unit at this point. And the reason why I say that is the higher your base stat is of whatever you're pumping, the more you get into that stat. 2 Rexes with different health and melee stats. The Rex with the higher health stat, starting off, will pump better. Now that said, it doesn't mean this aberrant Spino and this, or that this aberrant Spino, if it was level 150, couldn't have a better stat. But if all the points lined up and they both happen to get 150 points into health, this guy right here would have such a lower health stat than this guy. He might even be able to lose an additional point in health, and this guy still be stronger. And the same works in reverse. If he had the higher melee, well, since he has the higher melee, his melee should always be higher than this one if they had the same stats or the same points into their breed. Now that said, there also comes in other factors like breeding and other stuff like that. But you're looking at a very basic, this is who is stronger, this is who is weaker. And on face value, you can just kind of look at it and know which one should be more powerful in which area. After that fact, you should have to look a little more into which one actually has the higher stat. Stats might fool you too. This guy says he has 125% melee, but he hits harder than this Spino with 125% melee. And something else that might fool you also. These dire bears, when untamed, hit over 100 damage. But yet, when you tame them at 125% of their melee, they hit less. So that should be something on its own to tell you something. The dire bears change on their values there. So the art is not straightforward. It doesn't like to be, and it won't ever be. And these base stats are just like the bare minimums. Like, no randomness can be done to these guys. You will have randomness, and the randomness is going to affect whether or not this guy is a better tank than this guy. But this guy, overall, if the points and the stars all lined up properly, should have the better tank stat than that guy. But alright guys, this looks like it's going to be the end of the video, but I do have one last important tip for you, and I wanted to put this in a video, but I really just can't see putting this video together. This one is about using the narco mushrooms. While they are a great resource, you need to be careful with the narco mushrooms. And the reason why I say that is this. If you feed a dino 100 narco mushrooms, or actually the equivalent number of mushrooms, if not more mushrooms, as to 100 narcotics, so you get basically 4,000 torpor from both. You've applied both of them with 4,000 torpor. The mushroom-fed dino will wake up before the narcoed one. Usually narco berries are narcotics, and that neurotoxin from the jellyfish is going to give you a longer sleep time than using the narco mushrooms. The narco mushrooms torpor goes up really quick, which is a lot of times like on a giga where you get most of your time where you don't have to throw narcotics on until you wait for it to go down, then you wait for it to go up. But in this case, the narco mushrooms give you less time. And so unfortunately that means your giga would be down a lot less because it would reach his full health, his full stamina, full torpor sooner, and then come back down. If you don't believe me, try it. I'm telling you right now, you'll see a massive difference. I used a lot of narco mushrooms on a Spino, and realized after a while that was a bit of a mistake because I had to come back a little more often. So make sure your Spino or whatever you're taming doesn't wake up sooner, and you be gone like, oh, I've got 20 minutes for it to narc up. Not with narco mushrooms, you probably got about 10. So keep an eye out for that. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope that extra tip is really, really helpful. But you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.